thundering outside, so I feel like it's really adding to the ambiance of today's video. Hello, my most beautiful friends, and welcome to today's very much zoomed in video. And the reason why we're zoomed in is because, y'all, I am so excited, but we have our very first Halloween eyeshadow palette to review. This is the brand new Nomad Cosmetics Witch City Salem palette. You guys know how much I love Halloween. It is my absolute favorite holiday in the entire world, and we have our first Halloween palette of the season. So I'm gonna stop my yapping and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what this collection is all about. Alrighty, so Nomad Cosmetics is one of the first brands to release a Halloween themed palette. Not only are they be launching the Witch City Salem palette, but they're also going to be launching 3 lipsticks to go with this. So let me go ahead and tell you guys what the Witch Salem palette is all about. There's no better place to celebrate the spooky season than the iconic Salem, Massachusetts. From ghostly tours winding through cobblestone streets to epic haunted happenings and a history full of chilling tales, Witch City is the ultimate playground for all things festive, fun, and spooky. So grab your book of spells, whisper some hocus pocus, and join us for a classic Halloween celebration. We are proud to support the Panthera to help save the wild black cats of the world. Now, this palette actually does retail for $54. It's actually launching this Tuesday, August 26th at 12:01 a.m. EST, which I believe will be 9 p.m. Monday PST. You guys can use code Allie, save you guys 10% anything and everything off of Nomad Cosmetics. They're also going to be launching 3 different lipsticks with this collection as well. We're going to have 3 different shades. We're going to have the shades called Witching Hour, Hocus Pocus, and Devil's Book. Now, these do retail for $17 a piece, a little bit more on the expensive side for a lipstick in my personal opinion. But I think the reason being is, if you guys can already tell by the swatches, these look like they're marbled lipsticks. Although, based upon the swatches, they don't really look like a lipstick. They look more like a lip balm, but we're definitely going to have to try that out. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive straight on into today's video. First off, it's been like 2 years since Nomad Cosmetics came out with a Halloween palette. The last one was like their Ghost Town one, and now they launched their Nomad Witch City Salem. First off, look at how beautiful that house is, right? Like, that looks like fall, so pretty. And then boom, Witch City Salem. I love how this looks. It is such a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing palette. I love the lenticular motion feel. And then when you open the palette on the inside, you're gonna have a beautiful 18 shades of Halloween themed shades. Like, when I see this, y'all, I see Halloween. Like, you're gonna have the classics: purple, black, orange, green. You have a little bit of like a maroon red. You have a little bit of gray and silver. I think they did such a beautiful job. And like, I love the little details where it looks like a freaking log cabin. You can see like the little witches on the inside. There were little designs like in the pigments. There were little designs in the shadows themselves. But after swatching, well, I think it's safe to say that I kind of ruined the design. So I'm going to stop my yapping and we're going to go ahead and play with this palette. I'm going to do 2 different eye looks. I'm going to try to stick to like classic Halloween shades because I feel like this is kind of what the palette represents, right? Like Halloween. So let me get my little handy dandy eyeshadow primer. This is from Sigma. You guys can use my code again to save some coin. And we're going to go ahead and place this right on the lid. Now, I have never been to Salem, Massachusetts. It has always been, I always feel like I say Massachusetts. I always feel like I always feel like I sound like I have like a lisp whenever I'm saying it. Massachusetts. That's a very difficult word. But I actually don't know how to spell it. Okay, yeah, that's not a state that I would know how to spell on the top of my head. Not gonna lie. I remember there's a day that me and Betty were taking a road trip to Destin Beach, Florida, and we were playing like the states game. Like, can you name all 50 states? I cannot. She can. She's amazing at it. But I can't. And I feel like Massachusetts is one of those states that I tend to just slips my mind. But it's so funny because like I really want to go to Salem, Massachusetts, particularly during like the Halloween season, because I really want to experience it then. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. I'm going to go into the shade right here called Hocus Pocus, and we're going to go ahead and lay that along our waterline. So yeah, it's been a dream of mine to go to Salem during Halloween. I know that's probably going to be like big tourist central. If any of you guys live there or been there during Halloween, please let me know what it's like. I've always wanted to experience it. One of my childhood best friends, she moved actually to Boston 2 months ago, and she really was telling me how I need to come out and check Salem, and I really want to, especially, like I said, for Halloween. This is going to be the stupidest question ever, but again, I don't live there, so I don't know what it's like. Does it look, hold on, I'm excited. Does it look like this? Not that, like, does it look like that? Is that how it looks in the fall season? If it does, I'm so jealous. Because we don't have that here. Fall is non-existent for us Floridians, okay? We have just hot season and even hotter season, and then just a little bit of dry. And then just a little bit of 2 seconds of cold wind going at us, you know what I mean? So yeah, we don't really get to experience fall the same way that northern states do. It's why I decorate so early, because it makes me so happy, especially since I see like Home Goods and Michael's and like all those places start to decorate for fall. I'm like, well, why can't I? Because it generally just brings me so much joy. So I'm just gonna lay this shade down right here just to kind of set a perimeter. And if you hear whining in the background, that's just my dog Koa. He does not like thunderstorms. I feel so bad. I feel so bad because like during the summer season, it's consistently bad thunderstorms, and we do have trazodone, but I don't want to trazodone my dog every single day because that's just too much for him. So we try to be home as often as possible, and with my work schedule and Corey's work schedule, it can get to be a pain. What? What is it? It can get to be a pain. We have cameras in our home so we can watch our dogs, and let me just say that I've had to talk on the camera so many different times during thunderstorms when I'm at home to Koa to get him to calm down. And my coworkers just look at me because I'm over here on the phone going, Koa, it's okay. And like I'm talking to him the whole time, and my coworkers look at me and I'm like, just ignore me. I have to talk to my dog to get him to relax. I'm gonna take right here called Spirit and Spells. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just kind of doing this blindly in my head, mind you. But I figure we can just kind of combine these shades together just a little bit. When I was actually in middle school, we had to do, when I was in 8th grade, I was in all honors classes, and I had to do a thesis paper. I had to do a thesis paper in my 12th grade year, and I also had to do it in my 8th grade year. Don't ask why, but I had to. And my project was actually in the Salem witch trial. I learned so much from the Salem witch trial, and then it got me thinking that like if I were alive back in the day at that time, oh, they would have absolutely killed me. They would have said that I was a witch, because I very much am outspoken, if you guys can already tell. And there would have been no way that I would have bowed down to a man's word. Like, what? They would have absolutely been like, she's a witch. This shade right here called Witch City. Again, I don't know if this is going to work. We're just going to try to go for it. I always find black to be a little intimidating. And we're just going to go ahead and take this, and we're just going to stamp this literally just along the edge right here, because black is such a pigmented color and a little bit can go wrong so fast. Okay, right next to that color, we're going to go into the shade right here called Salem Columns right here. You know, that's so funny is years ago, like I'm talking like 2020, right? Or maybe even like 2019, one of the two. I reviewed the Rebel Rouge Labs Cosmetics like Halloween palette, or like the Halloween for You palette. And in that video, I actually did a whole deep dive on the history of Halloween. I was so proud of myself. Like it was like a research style video. And I almost did that for this one, where I was going to do like a whole like video dedicated to like the Salem witch trials. But I wasn't sure if that'd be something that people were interested in, because I love learning about history. I love history so much. Like I was the type of person that don't tell on me, but I would do people's history homeworks because I loved history. History is so fascinating to me, and so I loved learning about it. So I would have loved to have done like that video here, but I just don't know how people would have taken it. So I don't know if you guys ever want me to do like deep dives on like subjects like that while I do like a get ready with me. Maybe I could do for like Halloween. Like maybe I can do like as a Halloween video where I do like a Halloween like look. And then I could tell you guys the history of the Salem witch trials, which I'm sure you guys are like, we've heard 500 times. But you know what? You haven't heard my rendition. You never know. I can make it fun. I can make it exciting. So let me know. That'd be something you guys are interested in. Let me know. Okay, right next to that, we're going to go into the shade right here called Ropes Mansion. And we're going to go ahead and put that right next to this purple. That is such a pretty shade. A little bit of a duochrome, actually. Let me show you. Let me put this on. Let me show you guys how it's a little bit of a duochrome. A little bit of duochrome action. Am I in my Stanley back there? Okay, then right next to that shade, we're going the shade right here called Witch Hunt. Because I always feel like green and purple are like such signifying colors of Halloween, especially paired with black. And I don't know, there's something about the two together I just find to be so pretty. Like, it definitely gives off like a witchy vibe, and I'm just like obsessed with it. And then right next to that, we're gonna go into the shade right here called Salem Willows. Such a pretty light green. So pretty. We're gonna go right here. Okay, so this is what we have going on so far. We're going to trust the process. Now for this eye, I'm going to play with some oranges because I feel like orange and black are true representation of Halloween. I really hope this works out. I don't know if it will because I don't have a matte orange. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade... Ooh, I didn't think this thoroughly. We're going to go into the shade right here called Devil's Book, and we're just going to take that and put that along like our crease area as well. Because they don't have a matte orange. They have a beautiful, beautiful like pumpkin orange shimmer, but not a matte orange. You know what's so funny is I have always dreamed about doing a Halloween themed palette. I don't know if that will ever come to fruition, but it is definitely a goal of mine in life one day to create a Halloween themed palette just because I think I would do a really good job at it. Now, granted, it's not going to be anything revolutionary. So many other people out there create a Halloween themed palettes, but I don't know, would like to put my take on it too. Maybe envision, like maybe lay it out the way I envision it or how I see it. Like, I feel like it'd be really cool. And I feel like that'd be kind of like on par for me because you guys know how much I love Halloween. So that'd be something that I would definitely love to do in the future. If that's something you guys would like me to do, let me know. And also let me know what brand you envision me doing that with. Like a Halloween themed palette, because that would be so freaking cool. I don't have one coming out. Just so you guys know, I don't have one coming out. I would tell you if I did. Well, if I could, but like I really don't have one coming out. I wish. Back in with that same gray shade right here to help to blend that out. But you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the time when I was a child. I remember, I think it was like my 7th or 8th birthday. I remember my parents took me to, it was in 97, because I believe that's when Animal Kingdom opened up. My parents took me to Animal Kingdom for my birthday, and I remember, so I would have been 8 years old. Okay, so 8 years old. So my parents took me, my dad and my mom took me to Animal Kingdom for my 8th birthday, and I won't forget that when I came home, they had thrown a little tiny little like party for me for my birthday. They had decorated the houses with like orange and black balloons, and it was like and orange and black balloons, and they had wrapped up presents, stuff like that. I remember it being like a really great birthday because I knew how obsessed I was with Halloween ever since I was a little kid. Like, I've always been just obsessed with the holiday. And I'm gonna take a little bit of witchcraft right here to help blend that out a little bit more. And it got me thinking, like, I don't know when the last time I trick-or-treated. I don't know when the last time I stopped. I don't know when the last time I trick-or-treated as a kid. Like, my dad used to take me out trick-or-treating every single Halloween. And where my parents live, they kind of live, like, on a very small, like, isolated, like, at, like, a cul-de-sac street. So we never really had a lot of trick-or-treaters growing up. So we mostly just went around and, like, we did, like, we trick-or-treated in other neighborhoods and whatnot. It was always, like, a really, like, great time. It was always, like, me and my dad. My mom never did trick-or-treating with us. But my dad took me out trick-or-treating. And I really don't know when the last time I went out trick-or-treating with my dad was. Like, I wish I would have known then. Like, that was my last year. Like, that was my last year trick-or-treating with my dad. Just at some point, I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. I don't know if it's because, like, more and more houses just weren't participating. I'm not entirely sure. But at some point, I stopped trick-or-treating. And maybe it's because I started going out with friends. And I just would have known. I wish I would have known then, like, that was the last time. You know what I mean? Because, like, as a child, I guess you just don't really appreciate those moments with your parents. But then as you get older, you're like, I kind of wish I could do that again. Because that was, like, a special bond between me and my dad, going out trick-or-treating. Then we'd come back home. We'd open the bag, and then we would split the candy, because my dad would obviously take some candy for himself, and, like, we would check the candy. Remember how we used to always have to check the candy to make sure there's, like, no, like, hidden blades or razors inside the candy? You guys remember those days? Like, making sure that there's no hidden, no hidden razor blades or poison within the candy. Oh my gosh. Like, I remember those days distinctly. I remember those days like crazy. And it's so funny now because, like, I go out with my best friend and her kids for Halloween sometimes, and, like, whenever she gets her kids back, I start going through their bag of candy, and they think I'm stealing it, so they start yelling at me going, "Don't take my candy!" I'm like, I'm not. I'm checking it because I was taught as a child to check said candy. And so now whenever I do go out with my best friend and, like, her kids, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't have the same joy that it once did. Maybe just because I'm older. Maybe it's because maybe it's just because I'm older, but I just feel like trick or treat doesn't feel the same. Like most kids now, whenever we're out trick or treating, just either don't really dress up, they go around with a pillowcase, and they don't even like say a trick or treat. They just walk up to the door and they just hold open their bag. And I'm just like, whatever happened to saying trick or treat? Because at some years, instead of like taking like, because some years me and Corey would just sit outside like my best friend's driveway, so she could take the boys out, but we would be passing out the candy. I'm going to go into the shade right here called Harvest Moon. And we would sit there and help to pass out candy. And we would notice that these kids would just like come up and they would just hold open their bag. And we'd be like, trick or treat. And they go, yeah, whatever. Because like most of them are like, we're older. And I'm just like, when did we stop saying like trick or treat? And when did we stop just like enjoying the spirit of it? Maybe I was just thinking of more of like when I was a kid, how magical it was. Maybe it's not that way anymore. But it's just so sad to see because I really, really, really enjoyed it as a child. And nowadays I just don't really see that. Although I do see a lot of people now, at least in Alyssa's neighborhood, a lot of the parents sit in the garage with just like they're like a basket full of candy, and so kids can walk up and just like take some of the candy. Or they'll also have like a basket full of like little mini liquor bottles for the adults, and I do think that's kind of fun because I'm like, well, I guess they're trying to make it fun for like the adults too. But I don't know, it just doesn't have the same magical feel that it once did. And I miss the nostalgia of it. I miss like people putting out like really fun epic mazes, like so when you'd have to go through like a maze to get to the door, and like things would pop out and scare you, and the people open the door would be dressed up in costume and they'd be like, rah, you know. I mean, I don't know, maybe times are different, or maybe I was just a child so I saw the magic and everything. I miss it. All right, so right next to that shade, we're gonna go into the shade right here called the Witching Hour. It's not called the Witching Hour, it's called Witching Hour, but we're still gonna add the Witching Hour to it. We're gonna go ahead and put that right here. Okay, then right next to that, I'm going to take this shade right here called the Old Burning Point. Cheeky name. We're going to put that right in the inner corner, just like right here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean both eyes up. We're going to come back with the lashes on, and then we're going to do the under eye together. All right, so to finish off this eye right here, we're going to go into the shade called Seven Gables right here, and we're going to lay that right along our waterline. Like so. Such a pretty shade. And then I'm going to blend it out with the shade right here called Dark Demons right here. This really pretty like cat green. It's such a pretty shade. We're going to blend that out right here. Okay, so then for this eye, we're going to go into the shade. Let's do Hocus Pocus one more time. Let's just add that underneath the eye. And I'm going to blend out that shade with the shade right here called Haunted Happenings. It's really cute, like light tan pumpkin-y shade. Very pretty. Okay, so then for the inner corner for both, I'm going to go in the shade right here called Gallows Hill. We're going to use that as the inner corner for both eye looks. And I think at that point, I would pretty much have used every single shade in this palette. So I'm just going to take this, put this little purple shade right here. Oh my god, that's so pretty. It's time for the lipsticks. So let me just see what they look like. Okay, let me just swatch these on my lip a little bit because I just want to see what they look like. So first shade we have is going to be this shade right here. Let's see what this looks like on the lips. Not bad, but one that I don't think I would do with this look. I don't know what shade that one was called. It doesn't have this shade name on here. Oh, it's Witching Hour. This is the Witching Hour shade. Okay, so this right here is called Devil's Book. It's a horrible swatch, mind you. I just want to see what the shade looks like. So this is Hocus Pocus right here. All right, let me just quickly take this off. We're going to throw in a lip liner. I'm going to see what I ultimately end up doing. Okay, so now the black liquid lip is on. I kind of like don't want to ruin it because it kind of like matches the vibe. I think just as like a little topper, we're going to go into the Witching Hour, like this golden shade, just as like a topper. I hope I don't mess this up, but let's just see. Okay. Tapping it on versus like rubbing it on. I feel like it's the perfect way to go. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, well this is the final look using the new Nomad Cosmetics Witch City Salem. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on this. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and give you guys my first impressions of this collection. Alrighty guys, so this is the final look using the Witch our Salem palette. I definitely have to say this palette absolutely screams Halloween. This is literally the first Halloween palette of the season, and I absolutely love how Nomad Cosmetics really hit the nail on the mark when it comes to Halloween. First off, the outside packaging of this is absolutely beautiful. I love the lenticular motion feel. I love that you see Nomad and then you see the Witch City Salem with the witches, the pumpkins, the bats, the moon, the hauntedness of it, and then you open the inside, you're going to have 18 beautiful shades that definitely represent the shades of Halloween, in my opinion. I think that Nomad Cosmetics truly did an epic job with this. This is beautiful and the perfect start for the Halloween season. I cannot wait. Now this palette, like I said, does retail for $54, but you guys can use my code Allie, save you guys 10% off. Now, not only did they launch this palette, but they also launched 3 lipsticks to go with it. The lipsticks do retail for $17 a piece. I do believe they are going to be offering some bundle deals just in case you guys do want to get these as a bundle. I will say, I definitely think the formula is different than what I expected. Like when I swatched these, it kind of gave off like a lip balm feel, but after putting on lips, it definitely is just a straight up lipstick for sure. Would I pay $17 for these? Not really, but I think the reason why they're the price is because you are going to have that beautiful marble feel to it. It is going to be a beautiful marble feel to it. It is nice and hydrating. It doesn't feel any stickiness at all. I do think it's a little expensive for what it is, but that's just my personal opinion. And I feel like if you're going to get any of them, go for the color that resonates with you the most. I think the color that took me surprise is the Witching Hour one. I never would have really gravitated towards like this golden shade, but it looks so beautiful in a black. Like it looks so beautiful. It's like golden and green, and it just has like a perfect like beautiful like green gold shift on the lips. I absolutely love the way it's paired with the black lip. So super, super cute. I really love how they were trying to do something a little bit different with their lipsticks. I could definitely appreciate that. Now this entire collection is going to be launching this Tuesday, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be the 28th, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll make sure I have everything about this collection listed down below. But Nomad Cosmetics, thank you guys so much for sending this my way, and thank you guys for being the first brand to come out with their Halloween theme palette. So with that said, guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, Are for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.